Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from Group 9 will present about the impact of rising of the oil price on the Malaysian economy. This is our group. First one is Rabiatul Adawiyah binti Ahmad Nur 1203153, Muhammad Huzaifah bin Mat Fauzi 1203202, Muhammad Adli Arif bin Ismail 1203203, Nurul Adibah binti Ismail 1203204, Muhammad Fakhrul Naim bin Muhammad Fadli 1203206. For introduction, the increase in oil costs in our country is one of the most talked about topic in our society. This shows that the public is concerned about rising oil price. Gasoline is a vital component of daily life and is widely used as a raw ingredient in industries such as transportation and construction. Oil is also regarded as the physiological requirement. Physiological demand are the most basic need for human survival. In other words, it is required for our own survival. Every person owns the vehicle that they utilize for daily tasks. As a result, oil is required to proper and vehicle forward. Besides that, gasoline can be defined as a petroleum derived liquid material. The internal combustion engine run on this oil. Malaysia is also a major oil exporter and importer. Malaysian reliance on energy resources, on the other hand, has resulted in an increase in market oil price. Furthermore, rising oil costs have an impact on the country and society. Originally, every increase in oil price on global market would have a stage effect on the economy. An increase in the retail price of oil purchased by consumer. For example, as a result, a spike in oil price will almost certainly affect the price of commodities, transportation costs, and the government funding.
What the methodology we use in research the impact of rising the oil prices on the Malaysian economy? In order to do research, it is critical to understand research technique. The methodology used in a study has a significant impact on the result produced. Without a clear research methodology, the information collected will be questioned, and the study's result may be questioned as well. As a result, the approach and methods of information collecting will be discussed in this section. This is done in order to develop good approach and hence provide a high quality study. Furthermore, this is the qualitative research study, which is this research can be also categorized as internet research, which focus on journal reviews, article, news, the digital library, and other internet sources. Following that, the information gathered from the focus on journal review is added to the overall information. As a result, the information was used to create a study that focuses on Malaysia's GDP.
There are three impacts of rising of the oil prices on the Malaysian economy. First, an impact on both households and businesses. Understanding how oil prices affect the Malaysian economy is not difficult. Inflation and economic growth are seen to be harmed by rising oil prices. Oil prices have a strong effect on the value of anything created using petroleum materials in terms of inflation. First, an impact on both households and businesses. Understanding how oil prices affect the Malaysian economy is not difficult. Inflation and economic growth are seen to be harmed by rising oil prices. Oil prices have a strong effect on the value of anything created using petroleum materials in terms of inflation. Second, rising oil costs have the impact of making low-income people's lives more difficult. This is due to the fact that consumer purchasing power is eroding and the cost of kitchen essentials is rising. And last, the country is forced to shoulder the weight of huge subsidies because government subsidies must primarily benefit poor and moderate income groups. This is the case because the government needs to transfer a large amount of funds to the low-income group to meet the growing oil prices. Providing significant subsidies can aid the country's economy and development.
Next, the solution of rising of the oil prices on the Malaysian economy. The first one is law enforcement. The officer in charge must monitor and take firm action against any party who raises the price of goods at will without obtaining approval from the government. The officer responsible for carrying out petrol duties in terms of the price of goods should make a surprise visit from time to time to ensure that the seller complies with the law and does not increase the price of goods at will. For example, if there is a seller who raises the price of goods at will, the authorities carrying out their duties should take appropriate action by prosecuting those guilty in court. With the actions, sellers are not easy to raise goods at will and will not dare to take advantage in the atmosphere of the country facing rising price of goods. Second solution is consumers need to plan their daily expense more prudently. This is because daily spending planning can make consumers smarter when shopping, especially when buying necessary items. Consumers need to buy items that are daily necessities and do not need to buy items that are less needed. This increase in oil prices causes consumers to look for other alternatives by buying cheaper products in the market. Consumers need to plan every expense by buying basic food or necessities only compared to less important side dishes. This can also save the consumer money, especially for low-income users. Therefore, this will be able to reduce the problems that arise as a result of rising prices of the goods faced by consumers. The third solution is hold an authority campaign among consumers. This is because the existence of campaigns through radio, newspaper, and television can cultivate awareness among consumers to be frugal. The delivery of this message through the mass media can provide awareness of the importance of austerity practice in the daily life of consumer. Therefore, this campaign can also cultivate a deep awareness of consumers so that they do not waste and save. With this, the effect of rising prices of goods will be able to be addressed more effectively among consumers later.
The conclusion we get from our topic is external problems are the biggest factors in the increase in oil price in our country, such as currency exchange rates, the unstable political situation of producing countries, and the reduction of oil subsidies by the government are the internal factors. Therefore, in order to avoid a sharp rise in oil price, the government needs to establish close ties with oil producing countries. Finally, the people also need to understand and be prepared to face the increase in oil price. That's all from our group. Thank you.